Well, welcome. Today we have joining us Nick and Raphael from Quattro's Copas. Nick, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Quattro's Copas?
Very good. I'm Nick Magliarditi, one of the partners that own and distill Quattro Copas. Rafael Deanda is also with me today, and he'll participate at times. And so, a little bit of background: myself and the Deanda family have been involved with Quattro Copas now for over 10 years. In fact, Raphael's dad was involved even years before that, so he was around during the initial and first certification of a tequila as organic back in the late 90s. And so that is one of our hallmarks of Four Copas being a super premium organic tequila. It was the first certified organic tequila in the world. So we continue to hold that mark, although there are a handful of others that have come into the fray, but we were the original. And we were also the original tequila that the original distiller back in that time had a lot of foresight of also doing it as kosher. So we've been certified kosher that entire time as well, which is somewhat of a unique thing. You find more and more brands doing the kosher certification, but it's one we've had from day one. And so, as it ties into, the Earth Day coming up, and the whole aspects of Earth Day, we were welcoming the opportunity to talk today about Quattro Copas, our range of product, which we do have all types: Blanco, Reposado, and Anejo. Recently, we introduced some new product line, which is our overproof product, be it at 110 proof. And that's been well received already, and we're continuing that product line as well. From an organic standpoint, it's clearly one that obviously is earth friendly. Our certifications are not only in Mexico and the U.S., but also European. And on that note, Quattro Copas recently entered the EU market late last year. And we're expanding in that marketplace as well. But from the organic side of things, as people have been familiar with organic, probably I'd say Whole Foods has probably been one of the ones that really invigorated it in our economy in the U.S. of bringing it to the forefront with a lot of what they did many years ago. But being certified organic, there is a lot of things that go on as it relates to our farming techniques, obviously no pesticides, the methods in which the plants are I call it groomed and available to us. As people know and probably know with tequila, you're going to have a period of, on the low side, 5 to 6 years, sometimes 7 to 8 years before we can harvest our product. And most distilleries are typically using a 4 to 7 year product. Our product is usually in the 5 to 7 year range. I think we just did a distillation, and it's all about when do we determine that the natural sugars that have evolved, because there's no added additives or pesticides or any chemicals that go into our process. That is something that they have to determine based on the age and the size of the ultimate piña. That's the actual part of the agave plant that we utilize for distillation. And the result of that has been one that we believe presents our product in a very clean and pure type of tasting profile. I think years ago, we used to kid each other and those that were being introduced to the product that I think it's very difficult to get a hangover from our product. I think you would have to drink a lot of it. So I think it's an added benefit, but we're not encouraging over drinking either. but it could be one that I was had occasion to be at one of our local on-premise facilities that premieres our product in Southern California. And there was a gentleman next to me that was being introduced by the bartender for the first time to Quattro Copas, and the bartender wasn't exposing who I was because I was there as a customer. And this particular patron turned to me after drinking it. He had ordered Quattro Copas Blanco with soda. He goes, "Oh man," he goes, that's very smooth. He goes, "I could get in trouble with that." But in any event, so to the end of Earth Day and sustainability, one of the things that maybe Rafi can, and I don't know if you're able to show any photographs, Eric, but if you were, he might present one that's on his profile. That one of the things that's done in the whole aspect of sustainability, as they harvest the agave leaves are then not only used for mulching, but also for replanting new agave. So it is that proverbial cycle and circle from the planting to the harvesting to the replanting and utilizing the various portions of the plant. So the entire plant is ultimately utilized again in one way or the other, whether planted itself as a seedling or in this case, sometimes used as a mulch for the field. One of the things, and I touched on it earlier, was the kosher certification. One of the things we found, the kosher certification more relates to our distillation process, because although our fields are certified organic, as well as our distillery, we have to do certain things within the distillery as it relates to cleanliness, the type of products that are utilized for maintaining and cleaning the distillery. And what we found, and I shouldn't say we, this was one of the original distillers of Quattro Copas back in the days when it was originally certified in the late 90s. They found that cleanliness and organic certification lended itself to being easily kosher certified, with a couple of variations of where product may be at the time it's being distilled and then ultimately bottled. And so that's the roots, so to speak, of the kosher certification. It was a natural component that didn't interfere greatly with our process for distillation, ultimately to bottling. So, it's one we've been very proud of and passionate of. The Deanda family is extremely passionate about it, being of Mexican heritage. In fact, Rafael's parents born in the same town in Mexico. And so they have brought that heritage to the product and continue to have that heritage with the product. And so we remain very proud of it, very passionate about it, and hopeful that more and more people get the chance to experience the product, because we think once they do, oftentimes when a customer is new to our product and they have an opportunity to taste it, we usually end up with a long-term customer. So that's kind of all I'll bore you with today. And if Rafael has some things to add, we'll let him chime in as well. And then if they're able to present some photographs, he might do that as far as some of our fields, as well as ultimately some of our new branding of the product.
Yeah, so Nick, I mean, you brought up, I think, some really good points about what Quattro Copas is doing. And maybe Rafael can address this a little bit more. So organic has been around for a while, and there are lots of aspects that people refer to when they talk about sustainability. For some people, it's about the energy they're using. For some people, it's about the bottles that they're using. But Rafael, maybe you can go into a little bit more detail about how with the increased sales of tequila in particular, how does organic agriculture of agaves help both the sustainability for the planet, but also sustainability for tequila?
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, no, the pleasure kind of talking about the background. The organic aspect of Four Copas makes the brand quite unique in the sense that we really pay attention to all the details. As Nick was mentioning previously, I was out there last week reviewing their farming practices, looking at their details, how they recycle all the leaves and what have you. And I do want to note that we only use first and second generation hijuelos, or the little seedlings. in order to increase the quality of our agave. So many people will bring in hijuelos from other ranches. We really focus on the details to make sure the quality is there for us. At the same time, due to this focus on quality, we do find that we struggle sometimes with gaining organic agave. It is something that's very hard to find, but fortunately for us, we do have some, and makes our production both high quality, and we have enough to source all the demand that we've been able to reach recently.
I think those were all very good points. And I think to your comment, Eric, as it relates to, yes, organic has been around a long time, but it's about how do you care for that? And then, as you said, bring it through to the ultimate product. For example, making sure that our distillery maintains its certification, utilizing things that are what I'll call not only sustainable, but not chemical based in any way, so that we can make sure that ultimately that product that lands in the bottle, that we spent so much time in trying to maintain not just sustainability, but the I'll call it the base of it, the organic side of it, the pureness of it. We try to keep that all the way to the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And that also goes in terms of how you treat the agave once it goes from the field. The whole process is as manual as can be. Even from the crushing of the agave, many people use high-tech machines. Well, we're still quite manual in terms of how we feed it into the clay ovens and how that develops from there.
Well, Nick and Rafael, I really appreciate your taking the time to talk with us today about Cuatro Copas and the work that you're doing. And I want to let anybody know who's watching this that if you're interested in trying Cuatro Copas, if you're interested in supporting the organic agriculture that they are supporting through their tequila, you can find their whole range of Cuatro Copas tequilas from Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo on TIPXY.com. And remember, if you spend over $99, shipping is free. And what a better way to support Earth Day than some free shipping with Cuatro Copas. All right, thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Great, Eric. Thank you.
Bye.